In this video, I hope to give you another idea on how you can automate your workflow in Jira, and thanks to that, how to make life cycle of your issue, or in case that we'll be discussing of initiative, more smooth and effortless. This video is part of our effort to provide best possible training around Jira, Confluence and whole Atlassian ecosystem. If you'd like to support us, like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below if you have any questions, and remember that you can always reach out to us for one of our paid services like trainings, consultations or implementations. Okay, so you may already recognize this workflow. This is the last video we'll be seeing it. But what this one is all about. So this workflow shows the life cycle of initiative, right? From the idea through business case preparation, scoring, decision whether we want to proceed with implementation of this idea or not, to planning and then delivery. Now, in this life cycle of idea, there is a place where we need to create new Jira project. So over here between planning and planned statuses, when life cycle is already approved, we know we want to deliver it. We want to create the Jira project for it so we can plan and manage delivery over there. So we could do this manually, obviously, but there were problems that our client faced with that approach. So we could do this one of two ways, because creation of a project in Jira requires dedicated permission. Now, if we give this permission to a wide group of people, then it will turn out that it's kind of hard to manage. People are creating Jira projects left and right. Sometimes they are not consistent with each other. Basically, we get quite a mess on our instance. The second approach would be to give this permission to the narrow group of people, like Jira admins. And each time we need a new Jira project, we could go to admins and ask them, hey, could you create us this project? So this makes everything more manageable, but bottlenecks appear. So first of all, we need to go outside of this project and, either create ticket for admins. Okay, we could do that automatically. But we've seen very often that people are just reaching out to admins. But even if we automate creation of tickets for admins, we see that usually they are overworked and they are basically a bottleneck for creation of this issue, for creation of Jira projects. So we decided to automate that. And over here in this transition called planning finished, when we transition this issue from planning to planned, automatically Jira project is created. So let's have a look at that. So you can see that our initiative is basically approved. It's in a planning status. And now we can go to planned status. So we are moving to planning finished. Now on this transition, there is a post function. It is actually script runner post function that creates new Jira project. So I will quickly switch out to the workflow itself. Let's have a look over here. So we'll click. We see that, there is this post function and history. It was just run. Everything was done properly. So our new project should be created. Let's have a refresh to our page and see if we have this new project. View all projects, and there should be initiative 2 project. So this project will be named in the same way that our Jira issue. Okay, it is here. So we've seen on the post function itself that it ran without errors, and now our project is created over here. So there is several things we had to look out for, because obviously key has to be unique. The name also should be indicating what exactly it is. So there is quite a lot of things included in this sprint. but in general, everything happens automatically, and people do not have to think about this by themselves. So they do not need to remember to do something additionally. They just need to transition issue from one status to the other. Now, you may think that you may actually feel that having that kind of automatic creation of Jira project is not the best way to go because you do not have control over it. But actually, in my experience, this is way less prone to errors than creating it manually. Why? Well, first of all, to do this transition, this issue type, this initiative had to go through all the approval process. So it's not like, we will be creating automatically projects right and left. It needs to go through whole approval process, and then transition between those two statuses is also available only to selected views. The cool thing is that these people do not need to have this create Jira project permission. They just need to be able to transition this issue. So it will be way more flexible than just giving them permission to create Jira project, because who can make a transition can be a bit more flexible. We can, put the value of the person who has permission, the user who has permission in the field. Maybe we can do this based on the group of people that should be able to do this transition are a member of. So permissions to make a transition between two statuses are way more flexible. We have quite a lot of control over that. So this is first reason why this works really well. Second reason is that we have a lot of control over what will be the configuration of this project, what will be the schemes. So basically, there is no risk that just by mistake while creating Jira project manually, we set something wrong and then we'll have to fix that. So basically, thanks to this automation, we have a lot of control over what projects are created and who can create them. And we have a lot of control about how they are configured. And we're basically sure that, we just won't forget about anything. And we won't make any silly mistake that surprisingly happen very often. This particular automation or script actually drastically improved how satisfied were people who had to process their ideas through workflow with this workflow, because initially it was for them kind of an overwhelming that they have to remember about a lot of things, and on top of that, at this particular stage they need to request separately creation of Jira project. It just was kind of too much for them. While after implementing this whole workflow and this automation in particular, it went very smooth for them. So they just had single issue that they had to make sure that is progressing through statuses, that they are providing the information needed, and basically they had to remember nothing more. So we had really good feedback with that feature, and thanks to that, or because of that, we thought that it might be worth sharing that kind of option exists. So if something like that would work for you, if you would like to know how to implement it precisely, let us know. We'll be able to help. And for now, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.